Hi, I'm Peter, and today we're in the Peggy Rockefeller Rose Garden. It's a beautiful spring day, and we're planting bare root roses. I'm assisted by students for the School of Professional Horticulture, and we just wanted to talk about the difference between bare root roses and the potted rose. This is an example of a bare root rose. It came in fully dormant. This is how it arrives to you out of the box. You have the plant, the canes above, the graft, and then the rootstock below. So don't be alarmed or shocked. This is how it does come in, and we will talk about how to plant this later. But this is very different than a growing plant. Oftentimes you might go to the nursery and get a plant like this from the nursery that's already growing and already potted. The root system is developed. So this is not the type of planting that we're talking about for this plant. The bare root rose planting is much different. So we're going to be digging a little bit different hole and treating it a little bit differently. So once again, we're planting bare root roses, and the tools you'll need are your pruners and a shovel, and then any type of organic material that you're going to be using in your planting hole. So today I'm being assisted by students in our School of Professional Horticulture, and while they're preparing the roses, let's just take a look at what we're doing. These roses came in out of the box like this, and last night we soaked them overnight in water to make sure they were fully saturated, and we're just going to do a little pruning on it, make sure they're okay. Sometimes during shipping these branches might get broken, and if it did get broken, you would just cut it off to where it's broken, and you might do a little root pruning. So we're just going to just snip these off a little bit, just shorten the length, and it's kind of a good thing to do because no matter where you cut a rose, it's just going to encourage the rose to grow again. So probably at this cut, you're going to get a lot of fibrous root system going. All right, so we're going to be digging our hole. The beds here at the Peggy Rockefeller Rose Garden have been highly cultivated over the years, so it's real easy digging, which is nice. That may not be the case at your own home. So if we look at our plant, we've dug our hole, and we just kind of see if it's about the right height. Just kind of place it in there and make sure that everything's okay, and it looks pretty good to me. And what we're going to do is just at the bottom of the hole form like a cone so that the roots will fan out over that cone. You want the roots to go out naturally. All right, so now that we've determined that the hole is at a good depth and the roots are not going to be so cramped, they're going to be nice and easily fanned out, we're going to add some organics to our hole. Here we have some humate. This is some granular humate. Just adds to the soil richness and then just your regular old bagged manure. We're just going to be mixing this in with the surrounding soil. And just getting this all incorporated. So that's all nicely mixed. And then just start backfilling your hole. Tamping it down as you go. All right. And while I finish this hole, our students are going to start digging the rest of the holes, and you can see their process as well. So the idea is that we want to prevent the plant from desiccating. Desiccating is the stems drying out. The plant really hasn't developed a root system yet. It's not taking in water. So we want to make sure that these canes are well protected during the spring winds and the early sun. So the best way to do that is just to take up the extra soil around and mound up your plants. Don't worry about burying it. Just loosely cover it, like so. So you can barely see the canes. And leave that. The plant will tell you itself when it starts growing, because these buds, in fact you can see one right here, this will start leafing out. And all depending on temperatures and weather, the plant will start growing. As this plant starts to grow, then you can start to remove the soil from around the canes and just let the plant be. So it's easy as that. We had our bare root rows, we dug our hole, we made sure the hole was at a proper depth for digging for the root system. We added that little cone at the bottom of the hole. We placed the rows in the hole so that the roots fanned out naturally, and then we started backfilling with the dirt. When we saw that, we brought the dirt up to grade, then we just continued to mound up around the canes to prevent from desiccation during the early spring. You can kind of see the processes that are going. The students behind us, they're digging the holes, making sure it's the right levels, backfilling, and then mounding up around the canes. The only one step that I would add to this, depending on the soils that you have at home, is that as you're backfilling the holes, you might want to add water to really make sure that the soil fits in well around the roots. The soil that we have here is nice and loose and organic, so I know that we're packing it in very nicely, but it is a good practice to add water to the hole just to kind of settle the dirt around the roots. Thank you for joining me today. Again, we learned about planting bare root roses. All of our fruits of labor can be seen in the rose garden. The garden opens on May 1st, and it'll be in peak bloom in June, so please come out and see us.